Family, what's going on? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama football on YouTube at Wednesday, September 10th, following Coach Keenan DeBoer's SEC teleconference. Now, starting off with some interesting news, he said that Bubba Hampton, who's a wide receiver here at the University of Alabama, is not on the team and hasn't been with the team since fall camp. Now, remember, Bubba Hampton was recruited by Coach Saban and his staff, dealt with an injury during the springtime. He is a slot wide receiver that I remember Coach Saban saying has a little bit of dog in him. Probably the injury slowed him down. Who knows what transpired during fall camp? I think when you look to Alabama's wide receiver room, and we were talking about this on our Wednesday show, you look at the wide receivers that transferred out, Manuel Henderson, you look to Kobe Prentice, you look to Kendrick Law, Caleb Odom. Guys transferred out at the wide receiver position, and guys on the roster at Alabama stepped up. I mean, there's still so much depth. I mean, look at Ryan Williams. He steps out for week 2, and guys continue to rise up. That's just a very talented and ultra-rich position for the Crimson Tide. So Bubba Hampton, no longer on the team. It's been since fall camp. Thought that was certainly notable for Coach Keenan DeBoer to open up with. And you kind of look to the springtime, none of those guys left the transfer portal. This isn't, this is rare, but it does happen. So Bubba Hampton no longer on the team. Impact for the wide receiver position, probably little, right? Hollywood expected to play this Saturday. Now, we thought that this would be the case. He was coming off concussion protocol against Louisiana Monroe following the concussion sustained against Florida State. I have a video, and I was talking about this earlier, about Ryan Williams and not selling Ryan Williams too early, right? I think that with a player as dynamic and as polarizing as Ryan Williams, don't jump off the bandwagon or whatever. Don't sell Hollywood. Now, did he underperform in week 1? Yeah, 100%. Should he be called out by people? Yeah, 100%. Guys like A.J. McCarron, guys with much bigger platforms calling him out, I think, to inspire him, not to have beef with him. And I think that Ryan Williams, being, younger, he sees what's out there, right? He's not off social media. He told A.J. McCarron, stay there. But I think going forward, that message is like, hey, fire up, come out, and do what we expect you to do, which is to play elite level football. And it's apparent that if Ryan Williams can't get it done, there's other wide receivers on this team that are getting it done already. The play of Jeremy Bernard has been spectacular. Isaiah Horton caught a touchdown pass. Lazier Brooks, my goodness, we haven't seen too much of Rico Scott, but clearly we know what he's capable of. Cole Adams, Derek Meadows, Jalen Mbakwe. I mean, kind of the list goes on in that wide receiver room, right? So Ryan Williams expected to play this coming Saturday. Might be a sophomore slump or whatever the case is. I personally am not selling on Hollywood. I think that he is too dynamic of a player. I think about the plays that he made last year. And granted, there hasn't been, a game recently where he's been like the guy, but I know he can be the guy with just one catch. So if you're out there and you've already sold on Hollywood, don't do that. Believe in the kid. I think it'll just take one big play for everybody to love Hollywood again. Some injury updates going into this Saturday's game, along with the Ryan Williams news, is that Jamarian Lathan, Jam Miller, and Tim Keenan III will be game time decisions against Wisconsin. Let me ask you something. Were you surprised originally with Ja Latham coming back at that whoop position? I was. I mean, this is a guy, I think he's been here for 6 years. I don't know what the injury was in the last game, but you have that room is loaded at the whoop position, right? You got Quay Rusaw, you have Yanzi Pierre, who I thought was been playing really well, Noah Carter, Justin Hill, those type of guys. So curious to see how Latham fits into that room, if he does come back this coming Saturday. He has that veteran experience. You need somebody to get after the quarterback. My goodness, it's crazy to me to think that Alabama has just one quarterback sack in 2 games played, right? And that's by a safety, Keon Sapp. Maybe they just need to blitz more. I don't know. Jam Miller, this is a very interesting one as well. Coach Keenan DeBoer said that he's also a game-time decision. Now, the running back is the starting running back. This is, running back number 1 coming into the season. The only real running back that had a lot of playing experience, right? This guy's been here for some time. We know what he's capable of. He's an all-purpose back. He's 220 pounds. Everybody remembers the photo this summer of him just being completely jacked. Well, he suffered a dislocated collarbone, and he's missed the first 2 games of the season. In that time, you have had running backs here. The depth is wild here. The abundance of talent is so crazy. The running backs that have stepped up have been the younger guys, right? Kevin Riley, my goodness, that guy has 100 yards so far in 2 games. Thumbs up if you'd like to see more Kevin Riley. And I'm not saying I don't want to see Jam Miller. I'm just saying, if you don't look, if he needs another weekend to be fully recovered, then you got running backs that can do it. Even A.K. Deere, my goodness, that 56-yard tutty looked very impressive. Richard Young, Daniel Hill also in that backfield. So I don't know what the scheme will be to get Jam Miller, if he's good to go, get him some reps, get him some rhythm. Maybe that could be a positive thing for the running back room. But right now, man, Kevin Riley looks like he's really running back number 1. Am I wrong on that? Let me know inside the comment box. Just ultra-talented room. And to think about this, before I move on to Tim Keenan, let's just say, so Jam Miller will leave, Dre Washington next year. Think about the running backs. So you got Richard Young, Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley, A.K. Deere, and then you bring on Xavier Crowell, right? The 5-star phenom. Man, that room is absolutely loaded. Lastly, you got Tim Keenan, who is a game-time decision as well. He had tightrope surgery. It just shows you modern medicine, right? This guy had surgery, and he's expected to be game time for this Saturday. After watching Alabama in week 1 and in week 2, it's apparent. Now, I know they had the shutout victory against, Louisiana Monroe and all that stuff. It's apparent that they need Tim Keenan back. It's apparent that they need their captain back in the center, their plug, their defensive tackle, somebody who it was seen just recently firing up Coach Kalen DeBoer, has that energy, is probably that. You're always like, who's the dog? Who's the alpha on the team? Well, that's him. And clearly, with him being out, I think Alabama's defense isn't playing at their highest level. So with Tim Keenan, I think it kind of the same thing that I said with Jam. I want him to be not 100%. I want him to be 1,000%. And this game, do you need him in this game? Sure, you need him in every game. But if you got other guys that are willing to hold the standard, the way that James Smith played was fantastic. Edric Hill, Stephen Boomaw, I thought played really well at defensive tackle. London Simmons, a freshman. If some of those guys can hold the rope for one more week, then you have really 2 more weeks for Tim Keenan to get to 1,000% before Alabama plays the Georgia Bulldogs on the road. So a lot to dive into with those 3 game-time decisions. Let me know what you think inside the comment box. Do you think they should play Jam and Tim Keenan, or do you think they should hold off and kind of wait for those guys to get 1,000% against Georgia? I appreciate you guys being here. Get inside the comment box. Let me know what you think about Bubba Hampton not being on the team. Hollywood, right? You're not sleeping on him. You better not be. I think it's just – and don't sell him. That's what I'm saying. Don't sell him. And the injury updates for this weekend. I appreciate you guys being here. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube.